Hi everybody, I'm joining you on the first morning that we have our power back. We have been through a crazy ice storm here in Southern Illinois. Gosh, it started on Sunday in the early morning hours. Everything was canceled. Everything canceled Monday, everything canceled today. It's Tuesday morning as I shoot this, and at 1 a.m. the power came back, and it really was getting cold in here. Actually, Mom and Dad's power came back before ours, and we sent the kids over there to sleep. Bub and I stayed here. I didn't want to leave the kitties alone. I wanted to know that they were like okay and warm enough, and we also wanted to know that like pipes weren't freezing or breaking or anything bad happening there. So we were actually, you know, layered up in bed last night with lots of extra blankets. I had a hat on, and in that mode, if you just kind of stay in bed with a lot of blankets on, your heat is going to kind of lock in. So it was able to be comfortable. I had moved a bunch of food out of our fridge and into the garage, and just this morning moved it back. I am so happy to have a hot cup of coffee. I took a shower. It was like, which do I do first? Make my coffee, take a shower, because I really wanted to shower bad because of course we had running water, but the water heaters are affected with the power outage. So I finally got that hot shower, got my coffee, can be up here, get my lights on. I decorated for Valentine's Day over the weekend. I still want some lights back there. It feels so weird to take a morning shower, but I do feel very fresh and very wide awake. I have my skincare on. This is just going to be a very casual, just putting my makeup on today. I didn't really think out a video idea. I've had my mind in a million different directions, it feels like, for the last couple days. And I did post a mini like ice storm vlog to TikTok. It's a little long to be a short on YouTube, so I just thought I'd put it over there. I think for my coverage today, I'm gonna go kind of light. I really enjoy this. I don't hear anybody talking about this Too Faced Born This Way Healthy Glow with the SPF 30, but I always like the way my skin looks with this. It's a moisturizing skin tint, they say. So I'm gonna dab this around. What shade am I? Warm nude. But it wears a decently long time, stays pretty fresh looking. This brush from Profusion. There have been a lot of power outages. There were a lot of people, I think, whose power went out even sooner than ours did. And for a while there, I was thinking maybe we're just gonna get off scot-free and not have any power outages because we made it through the bulk of the day and part of the night that we'd had all this icing. But it's kind of after the icing, and it puts all that weight on the trees, I guess, that you're at risk for things coming down. And it's gonna get so cold that this ice is going to be around for a while, I think. And I just love winter weather, but ice is a whole other story. Like, it's just not as enjoyable as a full-on snow situation. And we had some snowfall on top of the ice, not a ton, but like the kids were wanting to play in it. And I'm like, until we have a warm home to come back into, you're not going out there and getting cold. So I think they got that. But see how pretty that is? It actually has some, I feel like, medium coverage. For concealer, I'm gonna go to this old friend, my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Brightener. Yeah, this is gonna be real random today. But this is the way, like, I get ready if I'm not shooting a video. I just use whatever. I try to switch it up a lot. Try different product combinations. Press it in with this Profusion brush. I'm up here, honey. Kittens are confused. Like, what's going on? But I was actually awake last night the moment the power came back on. It's like I was meant to experience the joy of the power coming back. I was up because our, like, security system, fire alarm system was going off. It was like sounding to let us know there was no power. I'm thinking we have that knowledge, but it was just periodically going off, and I was up checking it and checking on the kitties because they seemed comfortable. I would try to like put little blankets on them. They didn't love that. But while I was walking through the living room, getting ready to get back in bed, I see the little thermostat flicker and the light came on upstairs, and I'm like, it's back! It was at that moment I wanted to do all the things. I wanted to turn all the lights on. I wanted to take the shower, but I'm like, no, let's just sleep and start to warm up. Hi, Pumpkin. I made it through the ice storm. I'm gonna set today with a little Maybelline Fit Me. I know that plays very well with the Instant Age Rewind. I'm just so grateful. Like, it makes me so happy to just have the lights on, have the warmth. I'm sure the kids had a great time at their sleepover at Mom and Dad's. Yesterday evening when we decided like that would be the best thing to do, Biddy was like, so if the power does come back on before we get over there, can we still do the sleepover? I'm like, yeah, this will go down as a big adventure for them, I think. And there was never a point where the kids seemed overly cold, I thought. Like, I was reminding them, keep your socks on kind of thing, you know? So I'm proud of the way the house was able to hold on to heat. We weren't going in and out really at all, so that probably helped. That Too Faced skin tint, I'd say it's lightly hydrating. It doesn't ever leave me feeling too sticky. Like, even though I didn't set all over the face, I don't really feel like I even need to. This is a cool thing. It arrived on my birthday, and it was from Hourglass. There was a PR package, and it came with this palette in it, the Evil Eye version of their latest Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked palette. I believe this is the medium tone option, okay? The one that I bought and have been using all throughout the season has been the Dragon one, and that's the lighter one. And I was really, you know, kind of toggling between these two in my mind when I was thinking of what to order, but I was intrigued by the two, you know, light powders in this one. But now I have this to try, and it's been really fun. So I thought I'd use that in this video. We have a bronzer down here, and they actually label this one as a blush as well, this number 4 Oasis Glow. This is Soft Light for a finishing powder, and then this they call the highlighter in Rose Gold Strobe Light. And we don't often see that marbled color in the highlighter. This shade is marbled too. The blushes are very intense in this one. So that was a really nice little surprise, and I did see that this palette, and I think the darkest option, which I do not have, those are available on Ulta's website. I'm pretty sure there was a period of time where I was looking them up and you couldn't find them anywhere. And now they have the Lotus Flower, which is your deeper one. There's the deepest. And then you've got Evil Eye, and the Dragon one is not on there. But I'm gonna go into my little bronzer shade here. What is that bronzer called? It's not the same bronzer as the other one, even though it looks close. This is called Natural Bronze, right there. We're just gonna make it easy today. Got my Turby Twist on. So the kids are having e-learning days, or like remote learning days, where they were sent home with a packet at some point in time from their teachers, and they're like, you know, use that packet. So we'll do that again today, but with all the power outages in the area, they kind of also put out a message saying, we understand if you can't get this done. See, I like the way that bronzer looks. That's really soft, but it's still very effective. And I felt like the bronzer in the lightest one was effective for me too. One thing about Hourglass palettes, I always say it, they're hard to mess up. The shades really merge into one another nicely, and the finish on the skin is so lightweight. I feel like people with mature skin tend to really appreciate the textures in Hourglass palettes. And we got these two really bright blushes in here. One seems a little more coral, and one has some more pink in it. I think I'll go with this coral. It's just a solid color. The shade is called Vibrant Coral, and the other blush is called, follow the map in, Pink Fusion, right up there. So this is the coral. Our heating unit outside, which is kind of just down below my windows here, is making sort of an odd buzz. But the house is definitely heated up again. I love that shade. We're coming back to life. Oh my gosh, there was a 7.1 magnitude earthquake in China. What is going on in this world? So there we are with our fresh, easy, corally cheek. This one is labeled as a blush as well, and I've just been kind of sometimes taking it over top. Like, it seems super light. I've never tried it just on its own yet. I've just been combining it with the others because I thought it looks so light. I actually assumed it was a highlighter for a little while, and once I saw it was actually labeled as a blush, I've used it like a blush topper. But I will use the actual highlight, which is up here. It doesn't give a ton of impact. Let's just pop it on. Like, I'm seeing it, but it's very soft, and I don't mind that a bit. It's just like the color tone that's in it takes it down a notch from being like a really bright, pearly white. But it's definitely light enough to show up on my skin. In the Dragon palette, the highlighter was a little bit more like glitzy bright with that type of tone. And then to finish things off, and I think this could set under eyes as well, I'm going to use that ambient finishing powder, the Soft Light, right up there. And I'm just going to dab it all over everything. I always feel like using one of those just kind of merges all of it together, gives your skin that added little filter, so to speak. So yeah, there we go. Thank you for sending that, Hourglass. I'm really enjoying playing with it. I'm gonna pop on a quick brow. Yesterday I did the quickest brow, which is just using Maybelline Brow Fast Sculpt or Express Brow, however your packaging has it. If it ever needs to be as quick as possible, that's what I'll use. For right now, I just pulled out a skinny pencil that I'm working through. This is Milani Precision Brow in Espresso. So yeah, I kept my garland back there. My garland's kind of a nice base for some lights, and I took off the multicolored which really scream Christmas to me. So I took those off and put up white lights. And then I have this kind of Valentine hearts tinsel that I think looks pretty along with it. And that will be my background here for a while. We took down Christmas trees over the weekend, which is always bittersweet, you know. You don't like to see Christmas go, but at the same time it kind of has to go. But I kept our staircase garland, and I did some strips of this cute ribbon I found at Walmart. Thick wired ribbon. It's like light pink, but it has this red crisscross pattern and little hearts. And I decided to weave that throughout my garland and make it more of a Valentine's thing. And then I put out all my little winter birch trees. I can link to those. I know I talked about them last winter as well. And those are battery operated, so that was one thing that came on light-wise for us when we didn't have power. They're on a little timer, and they're just these little leafless trees. They're little winter trees. I have this perfect tabletop size. At first I got a smaller one, and I have that kind of to the side of the TV. And then my other two are a bit larger, and one's kind of the centerpiece to our table, and one is on the kids' little art table. And it's amazing what they do for like brightening up the home and making you still feel good about your interior even after all your pretty Christmas stuff is taken down. Got the Melania in. Now I'm going to use this little L'Oreal brow lamination gel, which I do like. I wouldn't say I'm like obsessed with it, but it works well. The brush is pretty good about being like a no-brainer. It doesn't deposit too much, so you don't have to be too careful. What do I do on the eyes today? Well, first, while we decide, we'll just put on some Milani eyeshadow primer. I feel like I've been trying to rediscover different palettes lately, and I've been sharing on TikTok just in short videos like what I've been using and liking. And one of them I mentioned recently was ABH Soft Glam. I mean, what a great palette. When you look at that and you haven't really used it in a while, it's like, yeah, that's doing everything I want. So I've been enjoying that. Didn't do a video about it, but a few days ago I was using Modern Renaissance as well because somebody commented, I'm back into Modern Renaissance. And I thought, yeah, that's a good one too. You know what I'm going to pull out today? I feel like the time is right. The Northern Winter palette from Sydney Grace. We've definitely been feeling the winter here lately. Even here in Southern Illinois, which practically feels like it lines up with the Mid-South. I'm going to use Windy City right here. I love Sydney Grace, and I like these little seasonal palettes they've done. I say I'm going to make it kind of a soft, easy look, but I'm not sure how it's going to turn out, honestly. Let me know if you got into any of these seasonal palettes. I know they were kind of featured in their annual sale. Which ones do you like? I really like this one, and I like the Eastern Fall, too. Okay, got that softly blended. I'll take a bit of this Cranberry Bog. It's like soft matte pink. Just blend it on the border. I'm going to add a little Sled Dog Race. So that's kind of rosy, but it packs a little bit more of a punch than you might even expect on the eyes. Seems a little richer. So I'm just blending that out for my crease. I had some people comment to me like, it's time to get a generator. And it does sound great, the ability to just keep everything up and running. I just have trouble making it seem like a super worthwhile investment here where we live when in all our years down here since 2006 there's been like one other occasion where there's been kind of an extended wintertime outage. And I know those can be used obviously for outages any time of year, but where you're really needing that heat in your home. And here our power hasn't really been out that long. There are some people still without whose outage started before ours did. But I remember being back in our apartment and I was not yet anchoring the morning show, but in 2008 we had a massive ice storm down here. And I remember still driving the Camaro. That is one sporty car, my friends. That should probably not be taken out in ice, but that's what I had. And I remember it being like dark and early and Bub helping me get it out of where it was parked and getting off to work and driving at a snail's pace and turned my usual 15-minute drive to work into like a 45-minute drive because of how slow I was going. But yeah, I did have some thoughts about a generator over this time. Gosh, I have trouble opening this up and not wanting to use this shimmery burgundy called Eagle Watch. I'm gonna take some. Sydney Grace just does a great job making their shimmer textures so approachable and easy. You don't feel like they're going to flake out and cause a bunch of fallout. Just easy to use. What you see is what you get. That was so simple. Literally just patting it on the outer part of my lid and it's just meshing right in with everything else. I think our Wi-Fi just got back up. Yay. Yeah, I'm seeing on Facebook here, someone just posted over 36 hours without power, so I really shouldn't be complaining at all. I think they said there was like 40,000 without power in Southern Illinois at one point. And for it to come on in the middle of the night, you've got crews that are out working in this bitter cold in the middle of the night trying to deal with ice and damage and then making the repair. Like, I don't know how they do it. I almost feel like I should be doing more blending, but that came together fine, and now I just put a little something on the lid and call it a day. I don't really feel like taking it into a gray silvery place, so I'm going to use Slay up here, this kind of champagne-y looking shimmer. I'm just going to take that on the inner part of my lid. So smooth. That's a really, you know, approachable, brightening shimmer. It's not off the charts metallic, but very pigmented. And I've been very into my Essence I Love Extreme Volume Mascara. Really great for added thickness and length, so I'm going to throw that on today. See how quickly and big time that builds up? I'm going to keep this kind of an upper eye focused look. I'm just adding like a couple more coats. This builds pretty well. It's just the brush is very bunglesome, very big. So I do end up inevitably hitting my eyelid as I'm using it, but I'm gonna give that a minute, add another coat, and I'll be back. See those lashes? I'm so proud of that mascara. And then I'm gonna take some Revlon lip liner, Color Stay lip liner in the shade Chocolate. So yeah, I'll go for kind of a rich lip today. Did someone say natural at the start of this? Already had some Lano lips on since I began my skincare. Stuff is so good. Help me survive the cold in my home. So I've got that on and kind of lighter toward the inner part of my lip. And this is the Lano lips I'm speaking of. That's the 101 ointment. You can get a variety of scents. I believe this one's watermelon. And then on top of that, I'm going to use this from CoverGirl. It's the Clean Fresh Yummy Gloss, which I didn't use a lot of these. Acai You Later. They're very sheer. They smell amazing. They don't offer a lot color-wise, but a little. I'm just going to glaze that over top. Kind of an ombre thing happening with the lighter intensity of the liner going inside. I think I'm going to leave my hair in the turby just a little bit longer. So that's my look today, friends. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for listening to me go on and on about this ice storm situation. We're actually expecting some snow by Thursday or Friday as well. So love you guys, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.